Brian Shea, what do you think of Sonic Mania?
I think it is a worthy successor to the Genesis games that everybody already loved. I think that it basically this team of indie developers who got the blessing from Sega to go ahead and make a Genesis game for the modern consoles. And so they they rebuilt the engine from scratch. Christian Whitehead, who ported all the old games over to like Xbox 360 and iOS.
Yeah.
He is the guy, he actually rebuilt the engine from scratch and like recreated all like the physics and like how the momentum builds and everything. And he recreated it super faithfully.
It's absurd.
It feels like you're playing like Sonic 3.
I'm fascinated by this game's development history. I'd love to talk to them at some point in the future because it's just insane, the idea that Sega and Sonic team would allow... He's an American guy?
Australian.
Okay, to allow this Australian bloke, like, hey, here, make a new Sonic game that's exactly the old style. And it seems like fan reaction is like, this is just the cream dream thrill of a lifetime, everything that Sonic fans have ever wanted. Does it nail it that well?
Yeah, I mean, it's super faithful to the Genesis games in both like look and gameplay. And it's also like they did like 60% remade levels, but they didn't they have Chemical Plant Zone and Green Hill Zone from the classic games. But like they remade them. So like it's not like you're playing through the same games. It's just like familiar backdrops
Remixed,
with elements.
right?
Well, the first act is like super like, all right, well, this is the Green Hill Zone I remember, but it just has some new paths. But then the second act always kind of like mixes it up a little bit more with like new elements. Like Chemical Plant Zone Act 2 adds like new gels that you can like bounce off higher and like get stuck on walls.
Yeah.
So it seems like they take a little bit more liberty with the second act. It's not like Sonic Generations where they're just like, all right, we're going to try to recreate this in this new engine and hope people like it. Like I liked Sonic Generations, but I think this is a better celebration of Sonic's past than
Is there a universe? I've seen some buzz on Twitter and just I've played like the first 2 zones. I guess I started the 3rd zone. And for me, it's like, this just feels like the best 2D Sonic game that's ever been made. Is there a world where people can make that argument that this is better than any of those old Sonic games?
I think that, I mean, there's an argument for it because like, you have like the updated elements and stages, like I just mentioned. You have new moves for the characters. You have better bonus stages. You have a return of the blue sphere stages from Sonic 3 that like, it's like 32 new stages from that. And it's just like they've learned a lot about the like how to make levels over the course of the years. Like this is like the ultimate fan-made game if you think about it, because it's just a bunch of indie developers that love the franchise that Sega actually gave the blessing to make this game.
It's the feel-good gaming story, not only of the year, but of the last 20 years of Sonic misery. Like, this is it. Like, this is what fans have been demanding. They need to check it off the list and appreciate what a miracle it is this thing was released, right?
Yeah, and I think that it would be nice. My biggest criticism is that they didn't focus on the new enough. Because, like, it's like I said, it's like probably 60-40 remade stages, and then like that 40% is all new zones. So I wish they would have focused a little heavier on that. And also, the bonus stages are just kind of like a faithful recreation of the blue sphere stages from Sonic 3. But yeah, like the new stuff they added is super cool. I just wish there was more of it.
There is, I'm not going to reveal what it is, but there is a moment in one of the early boss fights. It's one of my favorite moments of the year so far.
It's super cool. I know which one you're talking about.
What are they doing? No way. They actually did this whole like crazy fan service, deep cut fan service where it shakes things up in a really unexpected way.
And there are so many moments like that. Like as you go through the game, there's all these like subtle and not so subtle nods to like both Sonic and Sega's past.
Yeah.
And I love it. Like there's cameos of characters you were like, oh yeah, that guy. Like I never thought I'd see that guy again.
What a thrill. Here's a theory I have for you, and I want you guys to weigh in, Dan and Miller as well. So the first 2 stages, beloved levels coming back, right? Green Hill and Chemical Plant.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a world where those aren't actually the best designed Sonic stages from the past, but they just had the best music from the original Sonic games, so people have a great memory of them because of the great soundtracks, and that's why they've been brought back alive?
Chemical Plant, I think so. But I mean, there's so much better music in
than Green Hill Zone.
Oh yeah, like that's the iconic one because that's the first level everybody played. That's the one that people played the most in the first game.
Yeah,
but like, even in Sonic Mania itself, like Flying Battery has a great soundtrack. Sky Sanctuary has a great sound, or a great
maybe it's
song.
Just familiarity. You're right.
I think it is familiarity that makes Green Hill Zone so like recognizable and beloved.
Is there anything in this game that you said whoa to, that you were really impressed by, where you played and it's like, oh, this, I never appreciated this about the Sonic formula. They really added something really new and big to the ingredients here.
I think they really just went for it with like the branching paths. Like there are so many different ways you can go through each and every level. Like, you know, even just like, all right, I'm Sonic and now I didn't like, I hit the platform before it fell, and now that means I can jump up to this higher platform and there might be like an extra life up there, and then, you know, it's a different path that you can go. So it's almost like you're attacking a whole different stage if like you figure out like a new route to go. Or, you know, if you're Knuckles and you're able to climb up walls and glide across the level, you can now find a new path that way because, you know, Sonic doesn't have that ability.
Yeah. Hey, Miller, here's my experience with this game. I started it and said, my God, it looks like they really did it. I appreciated Sonic as a kid, but I was a very stupid kid. Playing this, I said, my God, it's really, they've done it. I'm so happy for everyone that loves Sonic and has been screaming for so many years they want that nostalgic experience. But at the same time, I don't really know where to go. Sometimes I go fast and then I die, and then I'm trying to navigate my way through these levels. I don't know if I'm having a great time actually playing it, but I appreciate the hell out of it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not here. I'm not going to be like a wet blanket on this. I totally get the enthusiasm for people who are Sonic fans, lifelong Sonic fans. I'm going to be honest. While I don't hate on it or anything, I think it would be fair to say I'm one of the people in the office who does not give you a hard time about this.
You
right?
are not.
I think it's great that people like this little blue guy and that he runs really fast.
He's a hedgehog.
I've never gotten it. Like I was like a SNES guy. I wasn't a Genesis guy, so I don't have that like built-in nostalgia core thing. And I got Sonic Mania because there's all this enthusiasm. I mean, this thing's like racking up some high scores from people, right?
Yeah.
Including Brian. And I'm like, I should give this a shot. Like people are really hot on this, and I don't get it.
What?
And so I'm saying, like, I think I can speak to the people out there who share my sense of it. This is not going to be the game. I think I can safely say that I've never gotten it, but finally I get Sonic. And now that I've played Sonic Mania, this is it. I don't think that's. I just want to like temper back. I mean, there's every reason in the world that Brian and the other people who are big Sonic fans should love this game and should like rate it highly, because there is, you know, you can't divorce one's own personal experience and memories and nostalgia from how you look at a game, right? Like,
but you're saying objectively it's just a bad game.
I'm not saying objectively it's bad, but rather that like it's just without that, I don't know that it does what it needs to do. Well,
here's the thing. Brian, convince us. What is it about Sonic level design, maybe specific to Sonic Mania, that you feel makes it stand apart from other platformers? What do we need to see to let us love it like you do?
Well, I touched on one of the big things was the branching paths, like the way it kind of encourages you to explore levels in different ways and, you know, find new ways to like go through the same area multiple times. Like I think that's a super big part of it. So just the
complexity of 2D platforming levels, that's the appeal here?
That's one of the things. I also think that like, you know, kind of the contrast of like, you know, speed, and then like there's also those moments of precision platforming, and like then there's like when those two elements come together, and like, you know, all right, you got to go through this, but you have to go like at a certain speed or else the platform disappears, and like timing, stuff like that. And you know, just I think that is what it's big for me, is it differentiates itself from a game like Super Mario World. Like when I was growing up, it was, all right, I have Sonic 2 and I have Super Mario World. I love both of these games a lot. And you know, but probably at the end of the day, I like Super Mario World better because it's a better game, I would say. But like I really loved Sonic 2 also, and it broke up the platforming of Mario with like, you know, you can go like super fast through here. You can explore a little bit more than you can in a Mario game. Although Mario World had a ton of exploration as well.
Right.
But yeah, I think that the kind of like the speed and precision that was required, it was a different break from like all the super like methodical and precise platforming that you have to do in like a Mario game.
Get this precision out of here. Let's flail around with colors for a while.
Can I ask you a question? Like
Sure.
A straight up honest question that's going to make anybody who's like a Sonic fan totally like scoff at me and be like, he's such an idiot.
Tails is a boy.
And it's miles per hour.
Yeah, miles per hour.
Okay. Why is it I feel like I'm always going either too fast or too slow. Like I'm either going so fast that I don't have any sense of what's happening. I'm just like holding the right and every once in a while like pressing jump.
Mm-hmm.
Or I'm like going like the whole like momentum thing. I'm like running into stuff and then like any sense of like speed or enthusiasm I had is just immediately sapped. When I like hit a wall, I'm like, okay, well now I'm stuck in this pit. I guess I got to run back like 200 yards to get my speed up, and then like start going again.
200 Sonic yards.
You know what I'm asking?
Yeah, and I mean that is a fair criticism, especially like with it being so momentum based, like you said, like that's the thing that people really didn't like about Sonic 4, which was their attempt to do a retro game, I think for the first time.
Yeah,
it's just the momentum was garbage. Like you could like casually stroll up a 90-degree wall, and like they got rid of that obviously because people hate it. But with like the classic Sonic games and Sonic Mania, like the momentum is a huge part of that. But that is a fair criticism. Like, I think in Sonic Mania, they did a good job of balancing, like, because in the classic Sonic games, it was like, all right, I'm running along, I'm doing great. And then all of a sudden you hit a spring or like a thing of spikes and it you lose your rings or you go flying backwards. Whereas with Sonic Mania.
That infuriates me.
Yeah. Sonic Mania, I think they did a better job of balancing.
Are you just delighted by my frustration?
No, I have the exact same frustrations. I want to appreciate the series, and it makes me so happy that fans are loving it. I just don't really see the appeal of minute-to-minute gameplay.
I am in the exact same camp. I really am not. I'm not like, oh, this is terrible. I totally get it. You guys love this thing, and I'm more power to you. There's certainly some games out there that I love that everybody else thinks are just total garbage.
And the opposite with Amplitude, where some of us love it dearly, and you're not a fan.
Yeah. So I'm all for it. I want to understand, and I just don't. I think I've tried a few times over the years to do what I did with Sonic Mania and go back and like play the old ones, and I'll play it for a little while, and I'm like, I don't get it.
Well, Shea, what's wrong with this game? Why only an 8.5? What held it back from being your perfect 10?
Like perfect 10. Well, I mean, for one thing, you can't just say, all right, we start at 10 and take away every time there's something wrong. Oh, there's another 0.5 gone.
Right, but when did it hit the spikes and the rings of points flew out from Sonic?
Well, like I said, like it doesn't focus enough on the new stuff. Some of the systems in place are a little antiquated. I mean, we're pulling from like 24, 23-year-old games. So like the save system is kind of a little bit of an irking thing. I get all the way to a boss and I die and I run out of lives. I have to start over that entire zone. So it's like I'm at the end of Act 2 fighting the boss of the zone, and I'm all the way back to the beginning of Act 1. I mean, it's not a game breaker or anything. That's how the original games worked. But that's like I said, 23 years,
different place.
But for what they were trying to do, that's exactly what they were trying to replicate. Was this old experience? And they were, in that regard, they were extremely successful.
It's so amazing because I'm the kind of nerd that's into this stuff. When I got to the main menu, I immediately went to the credits.
Mm-hmm.
And the design team and the art team on this game is like 4 people, 5 people. And then it's just pages and pages of Sega legal and all this nonsense. But like just the idea of that core outside of Sonic team delivering this experience that is, in theory, making so many Sonic fans finally content. They can finally all die at peace now because they have their 2D Sonic. It's amazing.
I mean, Sonic Team did have a kind of an outside role in making this game. Like I think they consulted with the developers along the way, and like they'd be like, "Yes."
I really wonder though. I wonder how much of that was just like trying to make that connection in the name of like, this is a thing that clearly fans really want, and we want to show that Sonic Team was involved, and how much it actually was. Just those 4 guys.
Good question. Yeah, I'd love to talk to Christian Whitehead and those guys.
Yeah, he's a super cool guy. I met him at San Diego Comic-Con.
You promise he's a cool guy?
No, really, it's super cool.
Okay.
Is what I said.
Super cool.
Don't misquote me here.
Well, there we go. Sonic Mania.
And yeah, I liked it a lot. I gave it an 8.5.
Thank you so much for watching this excerpt from the Game Informer Show podcast. You can subscribe to the audio version and listen to new episodes airing every Thursday. We cover big games on the horizon, games that we've just reviewed. We have long-form developer interviews, a lot of fun stuff. So check it out every Thursday.